the big days, today, the anniversary, birthdays, holidays without you, it's the everyday moments that hurt the most. The constant, unexpected reminders that hit like a gut punch.
It left me with a kind of pain that I still carry every single day. But it also gave me a purpose. I made a promise on that road, a promise that I would never stop fighting for them, and I would never stop fighting to make sure no one else experiences what I did that night.
And at a memorial this afternoon, people were able to express their grief creatively through music and share reflections about Neve Rolston, Peyton Stewart, Asha Weir, and Deslyn Williams, all Pepperdine students and members of the Alpha Phi sorority. The young women were struck and killed by a speeding driver after parking their car to attend an off-campus event. They were 20 and 21 years old, slated to graduate in 2024 and received posthumous degrees from the university. Their deaths, as you mentioned, have renewed calls for significant safety improvements on PCH, including lower speed limits and speed cameras, which will be installed in early 2026. According to the Sheriff's Department, traffic collisions are down on PCH 59% year over year, with no fatal accidents this year.
All I can say is that their deaths were so terrible, was so tragic, was so senseless, so needless, that it really galvanized all of us to finally do something about these challenges.
And the 23-year-old driver is from here in Malibu. He is awaiting trial on murder and vehicular manslaughter, of which he's pleading not guilty. We're live in Malibu tonight. I'm Rachel Menitoff. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Rachel. A judge has denied the LAPD's emergency motion asking to lift an injunction that restricts the use of force against the press. The emergency motion came in an attempt to lessen the use of force restrictions against journalists ahead of tomorrow's No Kings protest. The injunction stems from a federal lawsuit claiming the LAPD violated journalists' constitutional rights by shooting tear gas and less lethal ammunitions at them as they reported on mass protests in June against ICE raids across LA.
The LA County Department of Public Health now has confirmed a third locally acquired case of a severe strain of Mpox. The patient, described only as an adult, was hospitalized but is now recovering at home. The strain, Clade 1 Mpox, can lead to rash and lesions, fever, chills, swollen lymph nodes. County health officials are working with state and federal agencies to track the path of those infections.
LA County has announced a tentative $828 million settlement with more than 400 plaintiffs who claim they were victims of childhood sexual abuse at the hands of county workers. The proposal still needs to be approved by the County Claims Board and the Board of Supervisors. It comes on the heels of a $4 billion settlement reached on behalf of some 11,000 claimants, which led to financial consequences for the county.
A milestone for LA today, 1,000 days until the 2028 Summer Olympic opening ceremony. Mayor Karen Bass signing a Games for All directive on Venice Beach focused on inclusivity and community benefits. She says the city is ready for next year's World Cup and will be ready for the Olympics. It will be LA's third time hosting the Games and the first time hosting the Paralympics. Ticket and hospitality packages already on sale. The countdown to 28 begins.
Well, the boys in blue one win away from a second consecutive World Series appearance. Game 4 of the NLCS against the Milwaukee Brewers is underway.
Yeah, a lot of excitement building across LA for another World Series appearance. KTLA's Rick Chambers live at Dodger Stadium. He's got a lot more from the fans. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Sandra. Yeah, a lot of smiles out here at the stadium tonight. Everybody we talked with just so pumped for this Game 4. Sweep, that's a word that's being tossed around a lot, and it's looking pretty good, actually, at this point right now. But most folks just thrilled with where the team is right now.
Super excited. I think that they did a fantastic job getting here. I mean, I think we're unbeatable at this point.
Beyond confident in their ability to take this home.
You think they'll sweep tonight?
I think they'll sweep tonight. My buddy did his special ritual, so I'm confident.
The starting pitching has been amazing. Now Otani's got to come alive. I'm going to catch a ball tonight.
You feel lucky?
I feel lucky to be here. Sweep. I almost brought my broom, but they probably wouldn't let me in with it.
I'm excited. I think there's a lot of buzz around the city, and to, get
back-to-back championships is going to be great.
I'm a huge fan, and just watching them do this and watching, like, just knowing that Kershaw, this is his last, is incredible. And what they did last night was just, that's exactly the Dodgers.
Now, if the Dodgers do sweep tonight, and again, it's looking pretty good at this moment, the first game of the World Series would be 1 week from tonight, next Friday. At the Ravine, I'm Rick Chambers. Guys, I'll throw it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Rick. President Trump met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House today. Zelensky is seeking long-range U.S. missiles that could strike Moscow. The president sounded receptive to the idea earlier in the week, but said today he is still thinking over the proposal.
One day after being indicted on 18 counts of mishandling classified information, former National Security Advisor John Bolton pleading not guilty to sharing classified intel with family members and keeping top secret documents at his home. Bolton has compared the Trump DOJ's tactics to those used by Soviet dictators.
President Trump has commuted the federal prison sentence of former Republican Congressman George Santos. Santos was sentenced to more than 7 years behind bars in April after admitting to deceiving donors and stealing the identities of 11 people in order to make donations to his own campaign.
In an emergency appeal now, the Trump administration has asked the Supreme Court to allow the deployment of the National Guard to Chicago after a lower court judge prevented the deployment for at least 2 weeks, citing no substantial evidence that a, quote, danger of rebellion justified that move.
Authorities have arrested a former LAPD officer in connection with the killing of a homeless man in Venice 10 years ago. Investigators say Clifford Proctor was on duty when he shot the unarmed victim twice in his back. KTLA's Alina Abovian reports.
Once he found out that he was being charged, he fled the country and remained out of the United States until now.
A former LAPD officer who fatally shot an unarmed homeless man in Venice 10 years ago has been arrested. 60-year-old Clifford Proctor was taken into custody Thursday at LAX and is now being held on $2 million bail on a felony murder warrant.
On behalf of myself and my family, we're just, the hope is restored.
The family of the homeless man, 29-year-old Brendan Glenn, say they still want justice. It was in May of 2015, and you can see it here in this surveillance video, an altercation on the Venice boardwalk. Proctor shot at point-blank range, even injuring his partner who was attempting to restrain the suspect on the ground. It was later determined by investigators Glenn was on his stomach when Proctor fired 2 fatal shots. In 2016, the police commission ruled the shooting unjustified. And in 2018, then District Attorney Jackie Lacey declined to file charges citing insufficient evidence, even though former Chief Charlie Beck called the shooting unjustified and urged prosecution. The case was later reopened under District Attorney George Gascon.
Now the current administration will look at this case again, and if they feel that they don't have enough evidence or facts to support it, they may ask a judge to dismiss it altogether.
And according to DA Nathan Hochman's office, they are aware of the arrest but would not comment on any pending charges. I'm Lena Bovin here in downtown LA, KTLA 5 News.
Still ahead on the KTLA 5 News at 7.
Less than 3 weeks now until the special election over redistricting, and the money is rolling in for both sides. We're going to show you how much.